Hi, everyone, and welcome back. It's your friends Anna and Mary with another episode of the Living with Grace podcast. I'm so glad you're listening today because today we are going to take a huge step forward to a healthier lifestyle. And I mean that literally. That's right. Today we're talking about walking. Did you know that something as simple as just walking can boost your mood, improve your heart health, and even help you to live longer? It's true. And we're going to be talking about it all. So lace up your sneakers and come along with us to learn why walking is the ultimate exercise and how you can incorporate it into your daily routine for better health and longevity. So let's welcome our friend Anna into the conversation. Anna, let's talk about walking and why it's the ultimate exercise.
Hey, Mary. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with each one of you. Walking was not something that I had as a routine in my life, and I have built the habit of walking since 2021. And now I walk every day, and it's something that brings me joy, makes me feel alive. Walking allows me to build trust and confidence in myself, to become my best accountability partner and friend. And that's what we are going to talk to each one of you. We want you to see walking as a stepping tool for the optimal life you deserve, for the functional body you are building, decreasing inflammation, decreasing chronic disease, improving your body from head to toe, and connecting to your soul and to your spirit for the goodness of just being alive and building the life that you deserve, living with grace. So be with us. We're going to talk about walking and how it can make your life exactly what it's supposed to be from the plan of your life to be. Let's go, Mary. Let's dig in.
You know, it's funny already. I'm resonating with what you're saying because you know me, and you know that I really I enjoy movement. I mean, I think everybody enjoys movement once you get moving, but sometimes I think that it's hard to create that habit. Or that muscle memory, if you will. And I've not always been a walker. I have been a runner. And I love the fact that I am now officially an avid walker, and I have just fallen in love with it. For me, it was always running. I would run. But you know what? Running is more difficult, or it's harder on your joints. And so I didn't run every single day. I would run like 3 or 4, maybe 5 times a week. But walking is something that you can do every day and reap all of the benefits, from the bone health and from all of the great things, from your heart health. And we're going to talk about all of that. But you can reap those benefits daily, so it's just such a well-rounded and proven, all the research proves that it is just the exercise for longevity.
And for
So
those of you who are sedentary and love sitting on your couch, there is hope, because I was exactly like that, and I wasn't a runner like Mary. So I was the perfect sedentary workaholic person, and I built the habit of walking. So there is hope. Let's just get out of the couch and stand up while we are working and talk about the benefits, and you're going to be very inspired by this podcast.
absolutely. And so, my main point about that is it doesn't have to be all or nothing. That's why, if we do a little bit at a time, you don't have to go out and run, crazy distances. You don't have to go out and walk crazy distances. You can start a little, but walking is the kind of thing that you can do a little, just builds over time. And it's, what, the one word that comes to mind when I'm thinking about it is lovely. Walking is so lovely. So, okay. So why is walking the ultimate exercise, really? Again, I touched on it, the fact that it is low impact, so you're not putting so much stress on your joints. So I love that about it. It's suitable for all ages. You know, you can do it at any age if you are healthy enough to, and you can begin slowly and build that, build up that capacity. So it's suitable for all ages and all fitness levels, which I love. And it can be done anywhere. You can do it, and Anna, you've proven this. You can do it, right? So tell me about
Yes.
where you walk.
So I work a lot. I work 10 hours a day. So every time that I have a meeting, every time that I have a phone call, I even walk around my house because my goal is to get 10,000 steps daily or more. And I really track them with my Fitbit or Apple Watch or whatever you use to track your steps. It's very important because then you become accountable for yourself. You build the confidence, you plan, you schedule, you follow through, right? So I walk around my house, and again, it's my time to be on a meeting or check my Bible app or send emails or make phone calls, send text messages. So I do everything while I'm walking now. I talk on the phone, and that's important to know that this becomes a habit. And I love the definition of habit because it says habit is when it is not, you do not have an internal resistance on doing it anymore. So habit, it's not really 21 days, a year, or whatever. Habit is doing the repetition until it becomes who you are. It's not difficult anymore, and you crave and you want to do that. And doing that makes you feel happy and you see the results. And what is important, I believe, in the habit building of walking, no matter where you are, even if you are inside your house like me, is that you have to make it fun and you have to make it easy, right? Like everything in your life, make it fun, make it easy, connect with other things, like I said, send emails, checking your social media, reading, listening to a podcast, listening to an audiobook. So that's how I do it. And I know that in general, if you do not walk consciously, intentionally. In general, a person usually walks around 2,000 steps a day, and the amount that is considered beneficial is around 10,000 steps a day. And like Mary said, that's a goal, that's your objective, but not necessarily if you are starting right now, that's the number you are going to reach right now. Like when I started walking, I would do 3,000, then I would do 5,000, then I would do 6, 7 until I got to 10. So then when I got to 10, I make the promise to myself, I make the commitment with myself that I would keep 10,000 steps every day. So we start slowly, increase slowly, and again, in general, for every 10 minutes, you would be walking 1,000 steps because it's not running and it's not walking fast. It could be just your normal pace, right? So in general, for 10 minutes, 1,000 steps. So you can plan that. You can increase slowly and you can build the habit daily.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, so 10 minutes equals 1,000. Is that what you
Yes.
said? So that's
Yes.
what you guys want to sort of keep in the back of your mind for your calculation. I think that that's really a nice number to have, just a nice calculation so that you can plan for it. I love that. And I also love that you said that with a habit, something that you begin to crave, because I never thought that I would crave walking. I just never did. I mean, it's like for me, it was kind of like, God, I gotta walk, and I was a slow walker, and and that's changed for me too. It's the changes just are amazing. So I crave walking, and I love that. Yeah. So I wanted to share a few statistics about the physical benefits of walking because I think they're incredible. I read that for every 2,000 steps you take a day, your risk for heart disease, cancer, and premature death decreases by 10%. That's just 2,000 steps. So if multiply that by honest calculation, you really can really keep yourself in a good state, or really helped you to lower your risk for the major things that affect our health: disease, cancer, and premature death. So I thought that was quite the amazing statistic. The other the other study that I was reading was that walking, and it's really no surprise, walking strengthens your immune system. They did a study where they tracked 1,000 adults during flu season, and they found that people who walked at a moderate pace for 30 to 45 minutes a day had a 43% where they had 43% fewer sick days. And they also found that those people, should they get sick, had less severe symptoms and recovered more quickly. So, I mean, my gosh, that is incredible. Just walking 30 to 45 minutes a day, which, if you're not a walker, that might sound intimidating at first, but still, that I think is a marvelous and so encouraging, especially with, flu season, COVID season, all of that upon us. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, like Mary said, you can split your walk time. You can stand up while you are working, avoiding being so sedentary, and remind yourself there is something called activation energy. I'm not going to say that I want to walk every day, or I'm not going to say that I want to exercise and do my resistance training 3 times a week. Not at all. We all have days that we only want to rest, right? And it's fine too. Respect yourself. However, there is something called activation energy, which is the energy that you do something even when you don't want, or even when you don't feel like doing it. And immediately after you start and immediately after you finish, your energy is completely different, because it's physics, right? Energy is a motion. Energy is motion, right? So you get energy, you give energy, you give energy, you get energy. So I would say use the behavior activation therapy. Do something even if you don't want, even if you don't feel like doing it. And you're going to see that the energy will come after. And as soon as you start seeing the results, you will feel more and more motivated, and you will want to do it more often. And then it's going to become a habit. And for you to do something in these days that we are so busy and so overwhelmed, I would invite you to really get your scheduler, get your notebook that I'm grabbing right now, the annual calendar, and schedule. I'm going to walk every day from 6 a.m. to 6:30, from 6 a.m. to 6:45. And then wake up, do it, and make yourself a priority, and celebrate when you do it, and keep seeing that moving forward, and use your walking time to stack other strategies. Mary said something really interesting. She said that it improves your immunity and decreases your risk of dying early or cardiovascular disease, improves your longevity. And me being a radiologist, I love this study. It's a research study that talks about that has the patients had brain MRI functional, which is like the area of your brain lights up when you're doing something. And they followed through these patients, and they were supposed to walk 3 times a week, 30 to 40 minutes. And they walked 3 times a week, 30 to 40 minutes. And you know what happened? They build nerve cells, they build neurons. They grew neurons in their brains in an area that it's called the hippocampus. And that's the area for memory. So it has been proven that in research proven that when you walk only 3 times a week for 30 minutes to 40 minutes, you are improving your memory. You are improving your brain. And this research study and other ones that were similar, they were saying that just walking, could delay dementia or Alzheimer by 9.5 years. Imagine that. And that's because walking decreases inflammation in your body. And then by decreasing inflammation, decrease chronic disease, improves insulin sensitivity. And we're going to talk about that. But like what Mary is saying about the longevity and the muscles is use it or lose it. And when you are using your muscles, you are also using your brain, and you're also making your memory better. So it's like the brain muscle connection that it has been proven to be real. Yeah.
That is incredible, and that kind of dovetails with the other study that I saw that was published in Occupational and Environmental Medicine. It found that going for a walk 3 to 4 times a week in a park or along a lake or any tree-lined street can reduce the need for medications for like anxiety, asthma, depression, blood pressure, and sleep medications. 33% lower odds for needing medication for anxiety, 36% lower odds of using blood pressure meds, 33% lower odds for using antidepressants, and 26% lower odds for using asthma meds. And, that is really incredible, together with the things that you cited. I mean, my gosh, already I think we've already made the case for walking, and there's so much more that we haven't even touched on yet. Oh, and you also said something that I loved, that I wanted to come back to, which was when you were talking about walking, creating energy, when a body in motion stays in motion, right? They say that. And a lot of times I think we feel like, oh, gosh, I'm just tired today. I just don't feel like going out for a walk, right? Or whatever it is you're going to do, but we're focusing on walking. And then you put that out of your mind. This is what I don't even let myself think. I just put the clothes on. It's like, I'm just doing it. I mean, I'm not even thinking about the future of putting on my sneakers yet or opening the front door. Right now, I'm just putting on my clothes. I don't feel like it, right? But I'm putting on my clothes, going through the motions, and I'm tired. And then I go, I just go. I go and I
Yeah.
do it. I come back in and I feel so much more energetic. So my point is that movement creates energy. It doesn't deplete energy. I mean, I think that is so counterintuitive. That's something that we all think, that if we expel energy or expend energy, that we're going to be tired, when it actually works the opposite way, which I think is fabulous. Because a lot of times when we walk, we're walking in a zone 2. We're walking in which so if you're not familiar with zone 2, that's, that is I don't know, how would you describe zone 2? It's kind of a moderate pace. It's not really, really fast. I mean, you're still able to have a conversation. So your heart rate is up, but you're not, you're still able to converse. So it's moderate exercise, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes, zone 2 is considered cardiovascular exercise. You are walking in a moderate pace, but you are able to talk, and it's going to increase your heart rate, but it does not increase cortisol as much. So it's as similar as if you are doing, it burns energy as similar as if you were running or doing high intensity interval training, but it doesn't produce the same amount of cortisol, so it doesn't stress your body too much. And it's mostly when you are doing the walking on the treadmill, right, or the walking on a hill in your street or in your neighborhood,
or to get a brisk pace.
Yes, you are walking like as if you were doing 3 miles per hour, and the incline on the treadmill would be 10 to 12, and it's around 30 minutes. But again, I am starting this right now, and I am starting very slowly. I am increasing the incline progressively, because I'm used to walk again ground, right? Flat. And now I read about this zone 2 training, and I'm starting. And again, I am way behind. I'm not doing 30 minutes. I'm doing 3 miles per hour, but I'm not at 10 or 12 of incline yet. So be mindful of that. You can add that to your walking strategy, and it's way gentler on your joints.
But you can get to zone 3 if you're walking zone 2 if you're walking at a fast pace outside, But the reason why I wanted to mention that is that because zone 2 really does help to restore energy. It's another part of that. But yeah. So anyway, go ahead, keep going.
What I liked about Mary said about decreasing asthma and decreasing blood pressure and decreasing the use of medication. So it's really important to see that connection, that walking is a health resource lifestyle that you could use, because all these things that she said happen because walking decreases your inflammation. For example, if you finish eating and you walk from 10 to 15 minutes only, you are going to be decreasing your blood sugar spike. You're going to be decreasing the insulin spike. And these two are the major factors that cause inflammation in your body. Like when you have really high levels of blood sugar and really high levels of insulin or insulin resistance, that's when you have the visceral fat that we discussed in another podcast. And that's when you have a lot of inflammation and a lot of chronic diseases. So just by walking, especially after a meal for 10 to 15 minutes, you can bring those two down. And by then, you are going to also improve the utilization of the blood sugar in your muscles. So imagine that you are burning calories, building muscles, helping your memory, growing brain cells, because there is release of the brain neurotrophic factor that improves the neuroplasticity in your brain, and decreasing inflammation and improving your life. So that's amazing how walking, that's simple, just for free. Walking is free. You don't even have to worry about that. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. She said that even when she doesn't want to do it, she just gets her sneakers and she goes out. So what I've learned too in my own journey of my life is that it's way easier for me to follow through with something that I'm wanting to commit when I set myself up for success. And how do you set yourself up for success? Getting everything prepared. You know, if I wake up 6 a.m. in the morning and I tell that I want to walk, and I have to start looking for my sneakers, for my exercise clothes, or, then I'm already getting disappointed. So I prepare everything the night before. I have there in my bathroom my clothes to go to walking, my sneakers to go walking. I have, my bottle of water ready to get my water prepared. So set yourself up for success. Plan the time you're going to walk, schedule, commit, follow through, and prepare everything you need, all the tools and everything, all the materials you need, and leave it there for you to be really on the mood.
For sure. And especially as you're forming that habit, I think once it's really, really well established, that won't be as, that won't impede, if it's not in place, that won't impede you as much. But building it out of the chute, getting that consistency until you begin to really develop that habit where you get to the craving part, then it will be easier. I just kind of want to highlight the idea that it will get, easier and you'll crave it and it'll flow much easier. I also wanted to just come back to what you were saying about walking after a meal, 10 to 15 minutes. I wish I might have to put it in the show notes, but that is not a small decrease in your blood sugar after walking. It pretty much wipes it out. I mean, it is a huge number. I've heard that before. And maybe you who are listening have heard that before, and it's a good thing. We should get up and move and walk after you eat. It's good for you. If you are pre-diabetic or insulin resistant, walking after 10 or 15 minutes after you, just like a walk around the block after you've had a meal, will just be incredibly helpful too. So I just have to put that in bold, because that is
absolutely,
it's amazing. So thank you for sharing that, Anna. I love that. The other thing about walking is that it strengthens your muscles and your joints. So let's talk about building strength in your legs and in your core for better flexibility, for better balance, and for better mobility. There's that. And then, of course, on the heels of that, we've got to talk about bone density, because walking, if you're female and you're, aging, and if you're a small frame, you are at risk for osteoporosis and, building muscle mass and, reforming and remodeling bone is hugely important. And walking does that. And that is the one consistent exercise that you can use virtually every single day to prevent osteoporosis. So
Yeah, I love that because we have to remember that up to 30 years, at 30 years old, that's when we are at our peak of muscles and bones. But after 30 years, we start losing 1 to 3% of muscle mass per year if we don't start moving. And I love what I heard another day in a podcast that the doctor was saying, we were made to move. Look at your body. The largest muscles you have are below your belly button. They are your legs, your thighs and your calves, right? So that's showing you we are made to move. We have the biggest muscles that are for movement. So start moving. And why do you build muscle mass and why do you build bone mass when you are walking? Because it's a slow impact exercise, a slow impact technique that will kind of create micro traumas in your muscles, micro traumas in your bones. And then it accelerates the process of getting rid of the old cells in your muscles, getting rid of the old cells in your bones, and replacing by new cells that your body will be producing more often and faster because you are creating the microtraumas intentionally by moving. And one other thing that I love too, that I heard, is that your calves, the muscles from your calves, are the muscles from your heart as well. They are intrinsically connected. Do you know why? It's because when you walk, so we have the arteries and we have the veins. The veins, they bring flow to the heart, and then the heart let this blood to the lungs, and they oxygenate. And then anyway, what happens is when you are walking, your calves are pumping, like muscle pumping, and they allow a better venous return. You are going to decrease the swelling in your body, particularly in your lower extremities, and you are going to increase the cardiac output. So you're going to increase the blood coming from the whole body to your heart. So that's amazing. So protect your heart, protect your body by moving your legs. I love it.
it's huge, and I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So far we've talked about why walking is the ultimate exercise. We've given you a broad brush overview of that. We've talked about the physical benefits of exercise, of walking. Now let's talk about the mental and emotional benefits of walking, which are immense. Walking, well, Anna, first of all, I'm going to throw it back over to you because I want you to talk about the molecules of hope and how walking, because I love that. So would
Yeah.
you?
Yes. So when you are walking, your muscles are releasing substances called myokines. And the myokines have been named as molecules of hope because when you are walking, the myokines increase the release of dopamine, which is the reward system mechanism of your body, and also improve the release of the endorphins that will make serotonin and that will make you feel good. That's the hormone of feeling good. So just by walking, you are able to feel like less stressed, you are able to decrease anxiety, you are able to decrease overthinking, you are able to open your mind and have clear ideas. So just by walking, you are able to also decrease your depression. So I'm not saying that it's a miracle thing. If you are dealing with a mental problem, of course, you need to keep doing your therapy. Of course, you need to keep doing the treatment with a psychiatrist, if so needed. However, just by walking, you are going to improve so much everything else that you are already doing to get better with your mental health, to really feel more peaceful, to really feel more grounded, to really feel more connected with your heart and with your intention for your life.
It's true. I love that. So true. Yeah. And as you said, walking boosts creativity and focus. And especially when you're walking in nature. Um, just love that. There's more to that. When you're walking out in the sunshine, getting exposure to vitamin D3. But you get the release of the molecules of hope, the myokines, but you also get the other endorphins and the like serotonin and
Dopamine.
all of all of those feel good hormones and chemicals are released, and you do feel much better. I know that I always feel better. When I've had a hard day, or when things feel heavy for me, going for a walk and just looking at the sky, and trying to plug in and feel present, which we're going to talk about different ways to enhance your walk that in a minute. But doing things to make the walk extraordinarily impactful by being present is huge. I love that. Anything that you want to add to that, Anna?
Well, again, I just wanted to bring it up again because I think it's so important, since dementia and Alzheimer is something that is increasing exponentially in our world right now. Just by walking, you are able to increase the volume of your brain, to increase the volume of your hippocampus, that is the memory area. So delay onset of Alzheimer and dementia. And it's called brain neurotrophic factor that is released when you are walking. I love that. By what Mary was saying about walking and connecting to yourself, I like to, and the walking on the park. I really like the grounding technique that we're going to talk, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Like, it's just, if you are on a park enjoying the nature, just be barefoot. And there are lots of researches showing that grounding, just putting your feet on the floor, not on the floor, on the ground, on the grass, decreases inflammation. So again, all these things that are mental related, mood related, that we are talking, decreasing inflammation, decreasing pain, physical pain, improving blood pressure, decreasing stress, decreasing anxiety, decreasing fatigue. So if you are a person who has chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia, like walking and grounding could be so helpful in decreasing your pain. And again, improving the sleep and improving your mood. And Mary's going to talk about the improving sleep as well. So yeah.
Huge improving sleep. Just resetting your circadian rhythm. We've talked about this before too, Anna, just getting, especially if you're out walking early, the earlier you can kind of get that daylight onto your eyeballs, the better that is for your circadian rhythm to reset that, so that so that your melatonin is, in sync with the day, and you sleep so much better at night. I love that. And I have to, just, I guess, highlight that too, because I know that if I don't get enough movement, AKA walking, if I don't walk enough, if the day gets away from me and I haven't really gotten outside, I will not sleep as well. I mean, it is hugely important for me, and has impacted my sleep more than I can say. So walking is fantastic. And the more you can get out and walk in nature, in the sunshine, listening to birds. I love that. I know this isn't that kind of podcast, but I'm going to just insert that too, because when you're out and listening to birds, did you know that, let's see, one of the reasons why they've done some studies in listening to birds, when you're like for, I don't know, is it 6 minutes or something like that, if listening to birdsong reduces anxiety and stress and, cortisol and all of the things. And part of that goes back to our caveman days, I guess, because if you're out walking in the woods, as you would be, right, in the caveman days, and you're hearing birds singing, you know you're safe, because when there's a predator or when there's danger, you will not hear the birds chirping. They will be gone. So that is just something that is kind of built into us. So listening to birds is a really, really wonderful way to feel less stress. So I love that.
Yeah.
Were you
I
going to?
like what you're saying, and I want to say that again. I like repetition in my life. As a doctor, you have to repeat a million things all the time until you learn, right? When you are in training. So everything in my life, I believe repetition is what makes you become a master in what you're doing, is what makes you get excellent in what you're doing, right? So I'm going to repeat something here. I love that walking, sunshine, grounding are for free. So there is no excuse that could stop you from walking, enjoying the sunshine and grounding because it's for free. You just have to carve the time and make yourself a priority. And like Mary said, sunshine, 20 minutes of sunshine every day while you are walking and grounding at the same time, but I'm now talking just about the sunshine, especially early morning, definitely improves your sleep because it's going to affect your pineal gland, which is the gland in your brain responsible for your sleep. It's called the circadian rhythm, like Mary said, and it improves the release of melatonin, decreases the release of cortisol, so decreases your stress. And for you guys who want to lose weight and who want to keep building muscles, and who want to be younger and less older while you're increasing in age, guess what? It also improves the release of growth hormone, which is called the hormone of youth, right? So go out there, walk in the sun during the early morning, and you're gonna get all these benefits all together for free. I love that.
And walk among the trees, because trees give off something called pheromones, and pheromones, they've done studies where people who are walking in the forest decrease cortisol, right?
Yep.
And it decreases inflammation and increases something called NK cell activity, which are the natural killer cells that actually look for inflammation. And so those increase. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Just walking in the forest can do all of that. So I love that. You release your natural killer cells to help decrease inflammation and, achieve all the health benefits that Anna was just talking about. So the other thing about walking in nature is that it promotes mindfulness, right? And so you're walking in nature and you're looking at the trees, you're listening, all of those things, can be used as a moving meditation. And Anna, you like to talk about that a lot. You like to walk for 10 minutes in silence and use that as a meditation. You want to speak to that?
So I was doing a course with Mel Robbins, and she was talking about mindfulness techniques. And she has different mindfulness techniques. And one of them was this silent walk for 10 minutes. The major requirements are it's a walking for 10 minutes in silence. You cannot talk with anyone else. You cannot bring your phone. You should put your phone that's not on your hands. You should put your phone in a purse or a pocket or something like that. You are not going to be connected to your phone. You cannot listen to a podcast. So again, it's silent and it's considered a mindfulness technique. And it has all the benefits that we talked. So improves energy, increases your focus, improves your mood, decreases the inflammation, and it's only for 10 minutes. And the thing that Mary said is that it will allow you to connect to your senses. So what she was talking about, listening to the birds, it will definitely improve your brain. It will definitely clear your mind. It will definitely increase your peace and your sense of you know, groundness and wholeness, right? And peacefulness. And again, you are looking at the skies, you are looking at the trees, you are looking at the flowers, you are looking at your neighborhood, wherever you could walk. Even if you are walking in, like, on a place that is an avenue and it's busy, like in New York, just listen to the cars, listen to whatever, but your senses will bring you to you. to your inner power, to your that like it's going to really strengthen your body and your mind. So that's how she teaches us. It's 10 minutes, nothing with you. It will help you build a relationship with you. It will help you clear your mind. It will help you create new connections in your brain, have new ideas. Sometimes you are in the middle of a problem that you have no way out, you don't see any way out, and you are walking and poof, the idea comes to you. And it decreases overthinking and improves productivity. I love that. And again, and again, and again, walking prevents cognitive decline. Walking prevents you to losing your memory, to forgetting who you are. Let's walk, people.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Exactly. It's free.
And so I think that is so great. I love that mindfulness technique and walking 10 minutes in silence. And the thing about that is, which I have spent some time thinking about this, because what really got me walking was that I started walking and listening to podcasts or to audiobooks, mostly podcasts, but other things. But here's the thing, if that's you too, you can bring your phone, put it in your pocket, do your 10 minutes of mindfulness, and then put on your headphones or take your phone out and then continue your walk. I mean, it is a win, 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 win.
Exactly. Exactly. Win, 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 win. Yes. Win your brain, win your memory, win your muscles, win your bones, win your creativity, win your peace of mind. Win, 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 win. Right. Yes.
The fourth thing that I wanted to talk about was how to incorporate walking into your daily routine. Anna's already said, I think you did, but you can say it again if it needs more detail, or if you didn't, or if I just imagined that. But you can begin walking in short intervals. You don't need to do it all the time, so you can begin to incorporate walking a little bit at a time, right?
Yes, you can split your walking time. One other thing that it's not walking, but it's also important. It's like there have been researchers proving that sitting all the time now has become worse than smoking, so for your health. So I would say that I started doing this like 2 months ago. So I would say that it definitely makes a difference. Standing up, get a stand-up desk and start working as much as you can, standing up, and then sit down and stand up again. And like I say, whenever you can, walk, even if it's inside your house. Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, and of course, then there are the other ones that you've probably heard before, but it bears repeating, which is, if you're going to the grocery store or some running errands, park a little further away, challenge yourself. I mean, if you're like me, I like parking in the front row, but but we don't have to, and it's better for us if we don't. Also, walking your house. Anna's the queen of that. I have been on a FaceTime.
I am.
And you know what, though, I tease you, but I have started doing that too. If day has gotten away from me, and I also try to get about 10,000 steps. I'm a little more lenient. If I'm around 9,000, I'm good. I think that they have set. I mean, I think that the 10,000 number is just a number, which is a good number, but there is no hard data behind that number. But that is a good number. I'm not trying.
I believe that 6,000 would be a number that would already decrease your life early death by 50%.
Yes. So for me, if I'm over 7 and it's been a rough day, I'm okay with that. But if I'm still energetic and it's kind of nighttime, yeah, I will start my walking app, either on whatever I'm using. I use a lot. Yeah. I synchronize them all, but I will walk around the house for, 15, 20 minutes. Why not? Why not? I mean, that's a great way to increase your steps. So walking around your house was one.
I like what you said about the number. Again, the number is just a number. You're going to increase it slowly according to how you feel comfortable. Otherwise, you're going to be overwhelmed and you're going to quit. So the major thing is do what you are able to and then increase it slowly to improvement of your health. My number is 10,000 because it became a mental health tool for me. Like I have dealt with depression, I have dealt with anxiety and PTSD. I have even dealt with suicidal ideation. So when I started walking, I made the commitment that I would get to 10,000 and I would do it daily. Like when alcoholics mark their days that they are not drinking, I mark my days that I am walking like that because it is almost like now it gives me a sense that I am showing up for me. I take care of myself. I get my back, and I can trust me for whatever comes my way. So that's what walking became to me. It's not only the walking by walking, it's a mental pillar. It's a mental like place that I get my strength to go through the day.
Okay, can you say that again? Just say that is the part about it becoming a pillar. Just re-summarize that. I think that that is so important. And that is, I think, the number one and the overarching benefit of walking. So
Yeah.
can you try and say that again?
Yes, so I have dealt with mental issues, depression, anxiety, PTSD, and even suicidal ideations. And I chose walking to be my best friend. Walking is my pillar. Walking is my safe place where I committed myself to get to 10,000 steps and do 10,000 steps. And I track it as if I was an alcoholic tracking the days that I don't drink. I track the days that I walk 10,000 steps. And I know that I'm doing 10,000 steps daily since December 21, 2021. And I haven't skipped one day. And you might roll your eyes on me. But what I want to tell you guys is that walking doesn't mean only walking for me. Walking is my mental tool to know that I committed to myself, I can trust myself, I get my back, I show up for me, and I build confidence in me that I can go through the day, whatever the day brings to me. So it does not need to be walking. Your tool of trusting yourself does not need to be walking. However, walking is simple, is easy, is free, and it only depends on you. So if you need something that would feel like an anchor for you, definitely walking could be your anchor, like it is for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, because as you said, the thing that really stands out to me and has become that for me too, walking isn't just walking. It is showing up for yourself. Um, it is being accountable to yourself and for yourself. And the thing about it is that I do believe that walking in and of itself does that because of all of the benefits that we've cited, because of the reduction in inflammation, because of the reduction in stress and cortisol, because of the release of the endorphins, the serotonin, the dopamine, all of those things. It, I think, is just a game changer. Can be, yes, if you don't want to walk, choose something else. But I think that walking in and of itself is largely what is responsible for all
Yeah.
of those things.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing that. I love that. And we talked about creating a routine and setting a goal. Love that. Anything that you want to finish up with that part?
Yes, I want to say that walking can enhance your connections with friends, with neighbors, with your husband, with your wife, with your kids. You could walk in the evening after your dinner, 10 to 15 minutes, and you could walk with your family and build a fun time, a peaceful time where you could have good conversations, where you could share your ideas, where you could create life together, build life together. And in case you have something really hard that you have to talk, walking make it easier because both of you and your partner are going to be with a clear mind, are going to be more peaceful, are going to be releasing substances that will increase the resilience of your patients. So walking is really good also for difficult conversations, building connections, and just growing love together, right?
Love it. And that is what brings us to point number 5, which is enhancing your walk with either nature, mindfulness, wearables, all of these things, but walking with a friend, walking with a group. We talked about grounding, wearables. I love my Aura ring that that enhances and Anna's got one too, my Apple Watch, and I guess
I
as
have a Fitbit.
and
Yep.
a Fitbit. Yeah, all of those things, because that gives me the instant gratification, right? So when I finish my walk and I see that I've crossed over 10,000 steps, and I see my route, and I know that it is very affirming, and it makes me feel good. I get a really great sense of accomplishment. It just makes me feel really good. We talked about walking and learning. So that's another way to enhance your walk, is to listen to something educational. Maybe you're listening to us as you're walking right now. If you are, thank you so much. I hope that is
Inspiring.
enhancing your walk. What else?
Inspiring yourself.
Inspiring yourself. Yeah, definitely.
I want to just make a comment too. For me, because I walk every day and I know Mary does too, but I'm going to talk about my experience. The first 3,000 steps are the most difficult ones. Until I get to 3,000, I am like, oh man, I'm just starting. But when I get to 3,000, as soon as in a blink of an eye, I am at 7,000. And people, when you get to 7,000, you are pumped. You're going to get to your 10,000 in like, you don't even see it. You are there and you're done. And like we said, improve your mood, improve your sleep, improve connections, grows your brain. You know how many years during medical school I heard that when you lose your brain, you lose it and nothing else changes. And now there are so many new researchers talking about neuroplasticity and growth of new brain cells. I am so excited about that, and walking helps with that because walking releases brain neurotrophic factor. Neurotrophic means grow, 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 improve my memory, improve my mood. Yes, I love it. I get excited just by talking about it because
It is. It is exciting. It is exciting. And I mean, it's amazing, really. Again, who knew? I mean, some of these things I think we hear it so often that we don't actually hear it. You know what I'm saying? We hear how good walking is for you, but we don't really hear it. And, I'm hoping that whomever is listening today, that you're hearing this, because it's incredible to me.
yep.
I also wanted to add that when we were talking about the mindfulness techniques, there's also an app, and I've talked about it before, but Insight Timer, where you can, it's free, and you just download the app, and you can do a walking meditation where they'll take you along, and they'll suggest things that you could be watching and looking for, and helping you to stay present to your surroundings, which I think is it could be a really nice thing to do as well. So I wanted to mention that. So I don't know, Anna, now I think we're just kind of
I
ready
love
to
it. I love it.
summarize things. We've talked about why it's the ultimate exercise. We've talked about the physical benefits, the emotional benefits. We've talked about walking in nature. We've talked about how to enhance your walk. What else?
Yes. So again, like we said, walking is important, major topics. Walking with sun improves your sleep. Walking and grounding improves everything mental related and decreases inflammation. Walking after you eat for 10 to 15 minutes really decreases inflammation, decreases blood sugar spike, and improves your insulin sensitivity. Walking with family, walking with friends, walking with accountability partners, walking with you, your silent walk, connecting with your heart and with your soul, and showing up for you. And again, get yourself up for success, prepare your walking for the next day, and yes, and show up, plan,
Yeah,
schedule, follow through, and build the confidence in the person who is going to be with you your whole life, you,
love
and
it.
continue living
With grace. Yep.
with.
So many great physical, emotional benefits, and it's so simple, can be anywhere. And Anna, what does it cost?
0, it's free. Yay, I love that.
Walking is simple, it's powerful, it enhances your quality of life and your longevity. So this is what I want to leave you with. This is what we want to leave you with. I would love it if you would try to go for a walk today, just a short walk, maybe 10 minutes. And here's the thing, before you head out for a walk, or even if it's a walk around your house, if you would take a moment to notice how you're feeling, just check in with yourself. How am I feeling right now? And make a note of it. Then take a little walk, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever feels good to you. And then when you're done walking, check in with yourself again. Has it changed? How do you feel? And if you would either leave a comment here or check in with us on social media, we would sincerely love to know how it went for you, what your thoughts are on.
Yes.
So
Mary is on Instagram with lots of love, Mary. And I am on Instagram, Ana Rosa Gratitude. Let's keep building life together and grow as a family together.
yep. And there's also our pages, Living with Grace podcast.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's the Living with Grace podcast, but try either one of them, will pop up. You'll see that. But I'll put it in the show notes. That way you'll know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate you taking the time to be with us. We love you. I love you, Ana.
I love you too.
We will be back again soon with another episode. Thanks so much for listening. And meanwhile, take good care of you. Bye now.